Plans are worthless, but planning is everything. Hi, Nancy Bovier here with Agape and Next Steps. Some of you may be familiar with that phrase. That's a famous phrase that was coined by Dwight D. Eisenhower. Now, of course, that was when he was a military commander and he was talking about military strategy. But it does apply as well to estate planning. And in this video and in this week's article, we're going to explore that a little bit further. And I'll explain to you exactly why plans are worthless, but planning is everything. Now, I don't want to mislead anybody here. Plans are important. Doing your estate plan is critical to make sure that you're not leaving your family and your loved ones in a quandary when you pass away, wondering what your wishes were, what your direction was, or even worse, dying intestate without your will, without being able to give any clear guidance of what you wanted done with your assets, or if you had dependent children, who was going to be the guardian for your children? Or you didn't have that enduring power of attorney and something happened where you became incapacitated and now no one is able, without going to the court and making an application, to make sure that your financial affairs and your legal affairs are taken care of, or without that medical directive, so that if that same thing happens, nobody has any guidance. Nobody really has any legal structure that talks about what your care will be, what your wishes were. How much did you want to have your life preserved? So that's why planning is so important. But let's face it, a plan is worthless. Here's what I mean by that, and here's what Dwight meant by that as well. When you make a plan, that is a snapshot in time. That takes care of anything that is in a certain parameter, a certain time frame, given certain structures and certain conditions. Now, we all know that we do make plans. I think there's another expression out there, man plans, God laughs, because plans almost never go off as planned, without any kind of obstructions, without any kind of a hitch to any of them. Life happens. Things get in the way. So when you make a plan, you can't expect that that plan is going to be good forever. When you're making your estate plan, what you're doing is you're taking that snapshot in time. You're going to create those three legal documents, the three-legged stool. You're going to create your will that will give the guidance. You're going to create that enduring power of attorney that will ensure that you are going to be able to have your legal and financial needs and wishes taken care of if you're incapacitated. You're going to complete that medical directive that will tell people what your wishes were for your well-being, your medical well-being, and what your wishes are. Wrapped up in that estate plan also should be a financial plan. You should be talking with a financial advisor who can instruct you on the best way to make sure that your financial legacy is protected, that your assets are growing while still allowing for you to live this life, and also making sure that for your estate plan, those assets are protected in a way that is going to mitigate the tax consequences when you do pass away. You might want to go back and check my other video about the final tax bill. I think you'll find that a bit enlightening, and why you do want to make sure that you're not going to pay more taxes, or I should say that your estate is not going to pay more taxes than necessary after you pass away. So you create that estate plan, but that has to be fluid. It has to be a moving entity because, as I said earlier, life changes. People get divorced. People get married. People have more children. Their children get married. Their children get divorced. You buy assets. You sell assets. All of those things have a big implication on your estate plan. If you have created a will and you don't look at it for 15 years, and the person that you named as executor either passed away, or maybe you never speak to them anymore, or the person that you named as your guardian, you had a big falling out, and you don't want them managing the care of your children if something happens to you. That's why you need to update your plan regularly. I'm a certified executor advisor. One of the things that I do is help provide this guidance. I help, first of all, give you the steps that you need to follow to create an efficient, effective estate plan. But then I also have a service that helps you keep things up to date, helps you recognize those life changes that you may think are insignificant. I work with some financial professionals, and almost all of them have commented about how when they're reaching out to their clients at their annual meeting, they ask them, "What's changed in your life in the last year?" And the client will say, "Oh, nothing, everything's the same." But then drawing things out in a conversation, you find out that maybe they sold a house. Maybe they had another child. Maybe they have some health issues that are going to impact their future and their planning. So, not understanding and not recognizing those triggers in life, that should be the impetus for you to update your plan so that that plan is not quite as worthless as it could be. As always, I've got the article over on my website. The link is in the description box. And as always, if you have any questions, anything I can help with, please reach out. Always happy to help. Thanks for joining me this time. I look forward to sharing more with you next time. Bye for now.